the world.
I like your curiosity. I'll tell you. Muggsy Bogues is the shortest player in the National Basketball Association history, listed at 5 feet 3 inches tall. He was drafted 12th overall by the Washington Bullets in 1987.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Which club is the first to win Champions League?
That's very easy. Real Madrid. The first Champions League was won by Real Madrid during the 1955 and 1956 season.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of Formula One, and the pitch of football. Join the sports crew on Sport Hall, 6 to 7 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, Fridays 5 to 6 p.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Here on Impact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Reviews, views, and interviews, just the way you like it. Exclusive on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Sports and analysis.
This is Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM. For the best in sport entertainment.
Colors. Ready the people, a new day has just begun, and I wear my colors on my back. Yeah. We created equal, one race and that's human. Can't wait till they all see dance. Saying, oh, can't you taste the feeling?
Sports Talk Show is live on your radio, second installment of the show for today, Monday, the 9th day in the month of February 2026, and we're here to preach gospel sport to you for the next 50 minutes. Talk about all of the instant gas, all of the Lancer passes, the slams, and the dunks, taking you through the nitty-gritty of all of the major stories currently making the rounds in the ever-exciting, ever-dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sport. We're not doing bits and pieces this evening. We'll be dissecting all of the major topics. The other topics are taking reactions from all of the actions over the weekend, and also taking a bit of thoughts from the events that have happened in the course of the last 14 hours. From this morning, there's been the Winter Olympics updates coming through. There's the updates coming through from the NBA, as well as the Super Bowl update as well. We're serving all of this in the course of the show this evening. Sports Up Show on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. In case you missed it, we serve this package Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 a.m. down to 7 p.m. And on Fridays, 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 2 to 3 p.m., where we'll be doing 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, reviews, and all of the interviews. Your early morning sports tonic, sports in a jiffy, comes to your airing from 10 a.m. down to the flip side of 10, right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. This is your urban lifestyle station. We definitely make our words, and we're holding on to it to make sure that we're serving the best of urban lifestyle radio. Your day Ajiboye is my name. Absolute honor to be your host on the show this evening. A sort of reminder that I'll be streaming live on our Facebook fan page at Impact Radio 102.1 FM. Can as well be a part of us on our YouTube channel at Impact 102.1 FM. To the switch of the back of the net this evening, we'll be getting the show on the road, starting with us coming through from the home front.
Look what we've overcome. I'm gonna wave my flag. Count all the reasons we are the champions. There ain't no turning back. Saying, oh, can't you taste the feeling? Saying, oh, we all together singing. Look how far we come.
Starting from the updates coming through from the Nigerian Premier Football League, the match between Wiki Tourist and Katsina United first abandoned last night at 78 minutes. Finally came into a conclusion. What a dramatic end it is. 4-4 draw. The game ended. I'll talk about the chaotic Nigerian Premier Football League match. The 25 clash between Wiki Tourist and Katsina United was finally completed early this morning, finishing in a 4-4 draw right there. The match, which was early abandoned due to crowd trouble and alleged attacks on match officials, and the Katsina United chairman resumed early this morning to complete the remaining minutes. Wiki Tourist started the game strongly with Mairaga opening the score in the 5th minute. Katsina United definitely responded through Uche Collins, who also scored in the 20 minutes of the encounter. It was at about 3-3 from last night, but of course a couple of goals also went in this morning to bring the game into conclusion. And following that particular result, Wiki Tourist now remain in the lower half of the NPFL table, while Katsina United secured an important away point as the league season definitely continues into the final third of the NPFL season right about now. And so much is definitely happening in our home league. Lots of talk, especially from that particular event from yesterday night. A lot of thoughts regarding what it is where we talk about fair play in football. A bit of clarification from different quarters as to whether or not you are supposed to score from a fair play position. Some people are saying when it is fair play, you don't let your guards down just like that. A couple of takeaways from that particular match last night, because I'm sure whether we like it or not, there's still going to be a repeat of it in other match centers. The key takeaway is that I, on my own, I will say that teams should definitely remain defensively alert. I mean, until possession is clearly, is clearly returned and they know that, yes, they've gotten the ball back in their own half. It's not when the possession is still with the opponent and then you feel like because it's fair play, then you can, stand with your feet on the ground. Because fair play gestures honestly, according to FIFA statutes, I recognize that you cannot score from fair play. But sometimes it might not be guaranteed, it might not be enforceable, and this is the main reason that led to the to the fracas that happened yesterday right there in Wiki Tourist. And also still bringing up this coming through from the Nigerian Premier Football League, Niger Tornadoes are also threatening to withdraw from the NPFL. The reason why they are threatening to withdraw from the NPFL is not far-fetched. They are saying that the NPFL are bored that it seems like they have something against them right there, saying that as it is right now, it feels like the NPFL board just don't want them to play right there in Mina, and they want them to always play in other match centers. They are saying that their stadium is good enough to host NPFL matches, while the NPFL board is saying that no, this stadium, we know that at the point in time we probably accredited you to use this stadium, but right about now we are telling you that you can no longer use this stadium to host NPFL matches, and that is where the whole back and forth is now coming between Niger Tornadoes and also the NPFL board. And it's not just Niger Tornadoes that are calling for this. It is the Niger State Sports Commission who are threatening to withdraw the state team, that is Niger Tornadoes Football Club, from the ongoing Nigerian Premier Football League. They are saying that there's a bit of unfair and unjust treatment of their own club, according to the chairman of the commission, Danjuma Abdullahi Masu, who condemned the decision to reschedule their Tornadoes' own match to other states, alleging that the move was politically motivated, personal, and driven by selfish interests. I imagine that the chairman, the director general of the State Sports Commission is coming out to say something like this, then you can tell that definitely there's a bit of underlying issues concerning these talks coming through from both the Niger State Sports Commission and also the Nigerian Premier Football League Board, or maybe the NFF itself. Just like Kun Khalifa did the other day by going back to retract their statement regarding their withdrawal from the NPFL just after they were being hit with 3 points and 3 goals sanction for not honoring their match against El Kanemi Warriors. Hopefully, the Niger Tornadoes and the Niger State Sports Commission are also going to have a rethink about whatever it is that they're thinking, because, I mean, a lot of teams are going to be losing points if anything withdraws from the league right now, because that's just the ultimate solution. Once a team withdraws from the league, all of the teams that have been able to accrue points from this particular team, those points will be subtracted. Let's say a team has played them home and away right now. You definitely know that you are going to be removing 6 points from the points of that team that has played against them home and away. If a team has taken maybe played 2 draws against them, then that team will be losing 2 points, and just so you have it with every other team right there. Still taking talks coming through from the home front on the show this morning. This evening, I beg your pardon, this is Sports Off Show on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Let's take a recap of athletes from Nigeria over the weekend. Just so you, like I mentioned earlier, the Winter Olympics is very much up and running right now. Yes, even though we only have one representative at the Winter Olympics, that's talking about in the skiing event, but then other athletic events definitely went down over the weekend with Nigerian athletic contingent delivering standout performances, likes of Samuel Ogazi and also Said Salam, who is formerly known as Sunday Akinton, blazing the trail of Nigerian brilliance before the Olympic finalists Enoch Adegoke and also Fola Olaoye also capped standard displays right there in Europe. Adegoke was said to have been able to run a personal best of 6.71 seconds in the preliminary round of the men's 60-meter at the Sparkassen indoor meeting in Dortmund, Germany, which signals his readiness for a competitive campaign. Don't forget that he's currently the University of Alabama junior, a Paris 2024 Olympic finalist, and now the fastest African in the event this season, joining fellow Nigerian Ezekiel Nathaniel as one of the only 2 African men to break 45 seconds indoors. Ogazi's performance also tied him for the 13th place on the all-time world indoor list and set a new facility record at the Albuquerque Convention Center. Nigerian-born sprinter Said Salam, who was formerly known as Sunday Akinton, claimed the men's 60-meter title at the International Russian Winter Indoor Meet in Moscow with a personal best of 6.48 seconds, marking the fastest time in the world this season. Amazing one right there, but of course, he no longer represent Nigeria. At the same meet, Samson Nathaniel won the men's 400-meter race right there with a time of 41.01 seconds, while Gafar Badmos was disqualified from the heat. Patience Okonjo finished 5th in the women's 400-meter, clocking 53.69 seconds, and Wisdom Musa Great opened the season with a personal best of 7.49 seconds in the 60-meter hurdles, demonstrating confident barrier technique right there. And away from athletic talks on the show this morning, we move away from the home front and skedaddle straight to Europe, taking talks coming through from other sports on the show. We'll start with talks coming through from the world of tennis. Just so you know, that the most successful woman in the history of British tennis was knocked out, or should I say was beaten, well beaten over the weekend in the Transylvania Open final. Right there, Emma Raducanu, hopes of a first title since her US Open triumph in 2021 ended in disappointment as she was trounced by Romanian's Sorana Siste in the Transylvania Open final. Right there, the British number 1 was top seed, was second best throughout the match as 35-year-old Siste such a 6-0-6-2 victory in front of the home crowd. Raducanu, 23, was on court for nearly 3 hours in the semi-final win over Alexandra Olinkova on Friday. But against Tossi's sister, she lasted just an hour and 3 minutes. That brings an end to another hope of possibly winning for herself a title since she's won the US Open in 2021. Spaniard Drake, whom she has been working with since last summer, was the 9th person to coach Raducanu since 2021, and she's now scheduled to play the opening WTA 1000 tournament of the season in Qatar, which will be starting this week, and elsewhere she has been drawn against Colombia's Camila Osorio in the first round. And away from that talk right now, quickly, still in the world of tennis, still taking talks coming through from the WTA on the show this evening. Britain's Katie Butler claimed her 4th WTA Tour title with a 3-set victory over Tamara Kopas at the Ostrava Open just this weekend. The British number 4, who had dropped to 128th in the world rankings, came back strongly from a set down in the final to beat German Kupsak 5-7, 6-2, 6-1. Butler's positive performance in the Czech Republic this week after an inconsistent 2025 season means she will now return to the top 100 at number 84. The 29-year-old split from her longtime coach, Valentina Vaselinovic, I beg your pardon, last year, and was now appointed Michael Joyce at the start of 2026. Our State Sports Up Show right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, taking updates coming through from the world of sports on the show this evening. Serving it to you just the way you like it, whether you're a sports person, someone of the thrill of the game, or maybe an athlete yourself. I tell you, this is the right place for you to be, because the bed has gone around the world to catch this cross. I am more than willing to serve them to you just the way you like it. Here's a such reminder that can be a part of the show. This is 0907-224-5018 is the gateway to the studio. 0907-224-5018 is the gateway to the studio. And you can as well join us on our YouTube channel at impact 1021 FM. impact 1021 FM right there on YouTube. And our Facebook fan page is at impact radio 102.1 FM.
Hands up for your colors. One hand, two hands for your colors. Yeah. Show your true colors. Here we go.
And away from tennis talks on the show this evening, we'll go straight into the world of Formula One. Exactly 1 month to the start of the this calendar Grand Prix. Most definitely, starting with the Australian Grand Prix in a couple of days from now. Exactly 30 days. Lando Norris says his confidence is even higher for the 2026 Formula One season after he won his first driver's title last year. McLaren Racing Chief Executive Zach Brown also mentioned McLaren launched their car for the new season 2 days before the start of the second pre-season test in Bahrain, and Brown said Norris wanted to become a multiple title winner. He predicted the British driver's teammate Oscar Piastri would again pose a strong challenge, having led the championship for much of last season only to fade in the final part of the year. Most definitely, it's been said that Lando's confidence is very high and very much motivated, and the board and the team are saying it is their job to give he and Oscar the equipment again and to be able to let him fight out for the championship. Most definitely, don't forget that Lando Norris won the 2025 title just by 2 points from Max Verstappen. I want to definitely look forward to right there. An amazing season McLaren had in 2025, and we are hoping that they're going to continue from that. In that same momentum, going into the new 2026 season. All lengths in glove and all lengths definitely on the wheels too for the McLaren team. Don't forget that the last 2 years has been amazing for them, and yes, like I said, hopefully their hope to bring more chaos to the races this year, because it didn't just go down without the fight between the two teammates last year. There were a lot of talks about who is going to be the number one driver, who is going to be the supporting driver, for the McLaren guys. But it was good that they were able to, at the end of the day, make sure that they put it to bed, and at the end of the season, it was definitely one of them went home with the drivers title in the world of Formula One. Away from that story right now, quickly let's make a stop in the basketball world on the show this evening. I see Sports Offshore 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM, and we're bringing you updates coming through from the ever excited, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sports. We're not doing bits and pieces this evening. Most definitely dissecting all of the hot topics, telling you just what you need to hear in this hour of the day.
Together singing. Look how far we come now, 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 now. There's beauty in our unity we found. I'm ready. We still got a long way, but look how far we come now, 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 now. Hands up for your colors.
The world of basketball in the NBA this evening, Oklahoma City Thunder star Jalen Williams is set to return for tonight's road game versus the Los Angeles Lakers. I will be without Luka Doncic for his second straight game. Williams suffered a right hamstring strain on January 17 and hasn't played since then. The Thunder removed Williams from the injury report on Sunday. He also missed the first month of the season while recovering from a wrist surgery. It's been said that Doncic, meanwhile, has not played since limping off the court in the second quarter of the win on Thursday over the 76ers. He also missed Saturday's win over the Golden State Warriors. Luka Doncic, right there, it was eventually diagnosed with a mild left hamstring strain, according to the Lakers coach J.J. Redick. The Lakers have home games against the San Antonio Spurs come tomorrow, and Doncic's former team, the Dallas Mavericks, on Thursday. The All-Star game is Sunday. The Intrigues Dome right there in Los Angeles. Still more thoughts coming through from the world of the NBA on the show this evening. It's been said that free agent guard Cam Thomas has agreed to a deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. Thomas, who's 24, has averaged 21.4 points per game over the past 3 seasons and provides an immediate talent boost to a Bucks team still trying to contend this season with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Thomas was waived by the Brooklyn Nets after the trade deadline last Thursday in a somewhat surprising move, and after signing a 1-year $5.9 million qualifying offer over the summer. Thomas has averaged 15.6 points and 3.1 assists for the Nets after missing the first 20 games because of a left hamstring strain. It's been said that the Bucks listened to offers and engaged with teams about the potential Antetokounmpo trade before Thursday's deadline, but decided to hold on to the franchise star while searching for upgrades to the roster. The team sources told Newsman they still believe they can salvage the Antetokounmpo era in Milwaukee and try to win a second championship with him right there.
There's beauty in our unity we find. I'm ready. We still got a long way, but look how far we come now. Hands up for your colors.
Talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo on the show this evening. Just yesterday, the NBA star now joins Chelsea Women's Ownership Group. Some amazing move by the player, the basketball star right there. Is now set to collaborate on live events and also marketing initiatives. The Greek forward is now partnering with Reddit co-founder Alex O'Hain on Chelsea Women's stake. The basketball star Giannis has expanded his investment portfolio, taking stakes in prediction market company. Also, the Women's Super League club Chelsea. It's been said Giannis has been a lifelong Chelsea fan, but right about now, he's taking a stake in their women's football.
There's beauty in our unity we find. I'm ready. We still got a long way, but look how far we come now. Hands up for your colors.
Well, it's been said that he's going to be partnered with the co-founder of Reddit, Alex O'Hain, who acquired a 10% stake in the club last year for a reported about £20 million and about $27.3 million. It was an official post on his official social media handle yesterday. And Antetokounmpo himself talked about how it is of great privilege for him to be part of history and also being a part of the historic club that's built on passion, excellence, and also a winning culture. The WSL team remains majority owned by Chelsea's ownership group, which spun off control of the women's team to the Blue Co holding company in 2024. After the Sports Talk Show right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, and away from other sports right now, we quickly skedaddle straight into the world of football. So much to talk about, so much to look into on the show this evening. Taking reaction from all of the actions that went down over the weekend, and of course some of the updates that are coming through this evening. Don't forget matches this midweek in the English Premier League, and then for some teams they'll be having to rest for the next 12 to 13 days. Someone said something earlier today, honestly, I'll tell you more about it. I mean, for teams like Tottenham Hotspur, for teams like Manchester United, they'll be having 12 and 13 whole days to rest before their next games. Look here, I mean, it's more like a sabbatical for their fans. I will talk about that in the next half of the show. This is Sports Option Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Keep it locked.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of Formula 1, and the pitch of football. Join the sports crew on Sport Hall 6 to 7 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, Fridays 5 to 6 p.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Here on iMpact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Reviews, views, and interviews just the way you like it. Exclusive on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Sports Hub. For all the updates and analysis. Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information, call
0706 393 5694, 0915 958 1881, or 0902 745 3931.
Follow us on our social media platforms
At High Impact 1021 FM.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Get your groove on and get your love up. Butterflies in your belly moving in a frenzy. The Love Doctor's diagnosis says you've got February frenzy. So here is our prescription. Online, your favorite OAPs will be singing love songs every week, and we expect you to complete the lyrics from where they stop. The first comment with the complete lyrics gets rewarded. On air, you could play for love on any of our fun shows from Sunday to Monday and win a cute gift for a loved one. You can also get creative and complete the love story that any of our on-air personalities start first whenever the special segment pops on all shows to win recharge vouchers.
Wow.
We want to shower you with love and affection, and we urge you to do the same for everyone around you. It's the season of love. It's February Frenzy. Put your money where your mouth is. Show working.
Show walking for me.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of Formula 1, and the pitch of football. Join the sports crew on Sport Hall 6 to 7 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, Fridays 5 to 6 p.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Here on iImpact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Reviews, views, and interviews just the way you like it. Exclusive on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Sports Hub. For all the updates and analysis.
This is Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM. For the best in sport entertainment, tune in to Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM.
Welcome back to the Sports Talk Show right here on iPad Radio 102.1 FM. Still going through some of the top stories, making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sports on the show this evening. Quickly, we skedaddle straight into the world of football. Let's start with the Spanish La Liga. And yesterday evening, Ademola Lookman made his debut at the Riyadh Air Metropolitano, but definitely that one ended in defeat against Real Betis, defeating them a couple of days ago, only to be defeated back in the league yesterday evening. Welcome to the show, Warid.
Yes, good evening to our listeners. Good evening, Ayodeji. It's actually nice to be back here. And like you mentioned on Ademola Lookman, it's his first debut with Atletico Madrid was at the Copa del Rey, and it ended in a good way for him and Diego Simeone because they won that particular game 5-0, and he had a goal and an assist in that match. But this time around, the same team, different outcome, and it was not the best of nights for that Atletico Madrid team and also Ademola Lookman. So it just starts to a new life right there in Spain. We'll see more from him, but yesterday was just a bad day in office for Atletico Madrid and also Ademola Lookman.
Bad day in office, very, very bad day if you ask me. Well, let's move away from that, from the Spanish La Liga. Okay, before we leave the Spanish La Liga, let's go touch on Real Madrid as well. From yesterday evening, they were 2-0 winners in the game. Carreras are getting on the score sheet, as well as Kylian Mbappe scoring his 13th goal of the season, 23 in the Spanish La Liga this year already.
Yes, for Kylian Mbappe, he continues from where he stopped. That's scoring a lot of goals for Real Madrid. And like you mentioned, this 23rd goal in the La Liga season. And for Arbeloa, he has done well, kind of steady the shape. We are looking at the stats in terms of number of wins and losses he has had. He just had 2 losses, one against Benfica and one against Albacete. But if you are looking at other games, he has done the needful by trying to close the challenge against Barcelona, because Barcelona are just 1 point behind, and this is due to the recent winning performance we have seen from this Real Madrid. It might not be the best of performance in terms of playing style and playing pattern, but one thing they are doing is that they are getting the wins, which is the needed one.
All right, they're making sure that they grind out the win and also closing out that particular gap between them and Barcelona. It's still just 1 point separating the two sides right about now, and hopefully the margin is not going to be as big as you would expect it to be by, we're into the final third of the season, so whatever point you're able to garner right now is as important as the point you'll be getting on the final day of the season. And away from that right now, quickly let's go straight into the English Premier. A lot of talks are coming through from the games, especially the ones from yesterday evening. That's the game between Liverpool and Manchester City. It feels like Liverpool at a point in time were on full throttle in that particular game when it got to the second half, they let it slip. The goal would have been 3-1, but it stood at 2-1, and a lot of talks about officiating, different back and forth concerning that particular game. But most importantly, do you think that Manchester City are now getting, there's a bit of resurgence with Manchester City right now?
I don't think so, because we can still see that this City side still have a lot of things to address. Yesterday was just a game that, they were a bit lucky to kind of fight their way back. And at some point in that game, we were seeing Liverpool dominated that game. And for City, on the other hand, this is, if you are comparing this current City squad to City squad 3 years or 4 years ago, they are two different teams miles apart. And we are seeing this because Arsenal this season, in a couple of games, you have seen them kind of struggled. And a normal City side, a normal Pep Guardiola side would have taken advantage of those slopes from Arsenal. But on the other hand, yesterday was a good one for them, and it's good to see them back, because I think for Liverpool, they have only won one this year, and it just shows the form that team is currently in. And lately, they have been constantly late goals. You could remember against Bournemouth, it was last kick of the game that they lost that particular game against Bournemouth, and now this game against City, very late in the game, Alan scoring the winner for them. But for Pep Guardiola, and I saw the likes of Bernardo Silva and Eliana saying that, assuming they had lost that game, maybe the title
would have said that there's no more title race.
And it's good for them, because now they are pressuring Arsenal, and we know Arsenal to be a global butlers. But this season, like I said, I think this Arsenal side have that mentality to go to the end of the season and try to kind of secure the league title.
What do you say about that Dominic Szoboszlai's goal? The free kick.
Yeah, this is not the first time he's scoring that free kick. We saw early on this season against Arsenal, where he scored that wonderful free kick. And those are kind of free kick, they are goals that you call television goal. Even the goalkeeper will have to look at it. And all those kind of goals are beautiful to watch. And Dominic Szoboszlai has been one of Liverpool's best players, even not the best Liverpool player this season. And we have to give him kudos. But at the end of the day, it ended not too well for him, because he got a red card, and which we kind of concerned now, because he's most likely going to miss the next 3 games for Liverpool.
All right, away from that talk right now, still more thoughts coming through from the world of football on the show this evening. This is a Sports Hub show on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Taking talks coming through from all of the actions that went down from last night in the world of sport. I've been taking stories from other sports on the show, and right about now, we are now talking our football, reviewing some of the matches. Quickly, let's talk about Tottenham Hotspur. Feels like this is the year they are dropping down, because right now they are 0 goal difference, and they are just 3 points above the drop zone.
Yes, for Tottenham Hotspur, this weekend was not a good outing for them, but it was kind of what I expected, because the run that United are on, they are on carry ball is dominating, and for the whole incident that happened in that particular game, we could say that Christian Romero kind of caused them that loss, because we saw Romero, was it not last week after the game against it, he went on social media attacking the sports board, and you should be leading by an example, because you as a captain is what you do that your fellow teammates will have to follow. And at the end of the day, he caused, because as at the first 30 minutes, the game was kind of balanced, and immediately the red card came into play, it's the momentum shift
I mean,
towards United.
it's easy
and
to
it
say that it's not showing the stuff of a leader, right?
Yes, exactly. Because if you are the one talking, do the talking, let your action also speak on the pitch of play. He hasn't been doing that since the time he got into the Premier League. He got into the Premier League in 2021. He has had the most red card. That's 4. The second player behind him is Oldgate, that Everton player. But it's not a good record for him because now he's looking like every season. One thing that is guaranteed is that Christian Romero is going to get a red card. And for Spurs,
that used to be Casemiro at the time.
He used to be Casemiro, but we know how he is mentally hot-headed because that is Christian Romero. The way he went for that challenge was there was
against
no need
Casemiro.
for that against Casemiro. But on the other hand, he kind of caused the team. Even Thomas Frank wasn't aware of that start of the number of records he has collected since time he joined the Premier League. He was surprised when he was asked in the post-match press conference. And for Tottenham, on the other hand, they have not been good at home, even away from home. I think in the last 15 matches or so, they have only won 2 in the Premier League, which is quite bad for them. He has a lot of work to do because this is the same Tottenham we saw last season that we are seeing this season.
They won the Europa League for that matter.
They won the Europa League, but this time around, they are still in the UEFA Champions League, and will they be able to do what they did last season? I don't think so.
Okay, hopefully they are just able to win something for themselves right there. And away from that right now, we'll go back to Liverpool. There's a bit of talk coming through from Virgil van Dijk, and it's saying that there's a bit of, there's a bit of weakness in that Liverpool backline, especially their defense.
Yes, he's the leader, and if you are saying this kind of thing, you have to look at yourself first. Because I could remember the first goal almost score against Liverpool. It was Virgil van Dijk's mistake that caused them. And in this season, we have seen how Van Dijk hasn't been the Van Dijk we used to know. He has kind of reduced.
I mean, everybody drop it.
He has dropped from this particular season, and that is what we are seeing. And there's no better way to kind of see if you are the leader trying to fix that back line. And we have seen that Liverpool have struggled, especially Milos Kerkez, the new signing that came in during the summer. He has struggled a lot. The right back position has been inconsistency with who is going to start. At some point, we had Jeremy Frimpong. Frimpong got injury. Conor Bradley also went on injury. Now we had Dominic Szoboszlai playing, and we could see that one of the goals.
I mean, Szoboszlai this season has played the midfield and also right back for Liverpool.
Yes, exactly. And one of the goals that they considered
utility player.
One of the goals that they considered yesterday was because of Dominic Szoboszlai mistake. The Bernardo Silva goal. He was supposed to keep an offside, but as a midfielder, he is not that. He doesn't have that defensive instinct to kind of keep an
know when to withdraw,
an eye line, and I think that is what they are currently struggling, and they have kind of reinforced bringing him one talent from
Jeremy Jacket. We wait to see what is going to be doing by next season. Don't forget that he's definitely going to still be there with Rene till the end of the season, and then he's going to be joining them in the summer. So hopefully, if he joins them in the summer, it's going to be a good addition for this Liverpool side. Away from that story right now, a couple of other talks on the show. Arsenal definitely still showing the stuff of champions, like what you expect from them in the game against Sunderland over the weekend. I mean, it's been said that for a very long time, Sunderland have not, they've not won against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. And yes, Arsenal did put up that amazing performance. 3-0 that particular game ended with the likes of Zubimendi and also Victor Gyökeres getting a brace in that particular game.
I think it's quite expected because games like this, you expect Arsenal, if they want to win the EPL title, games like this is a must-win for Mikel Arteta and his guys. And they have actually done well because games like this 3 years ago are those kind of games that this Arsenal side might drop points. Because Sunderland have been one team that, of course, a lot of issues for the big side. They drew against City, drew against Arsenal in the first leg where they played 2-2, and a couple of teams are finding it difficult to break them down. But yesterday or Saturday was a good one for them, and we have seen that one of the issues that they had last season was when Saka had an injury. They struggled a lot, and this time around they have had a lot of replacements in terms of score depth. See the forward line, they have Gabriel Jesus, Havertz, and Gyökeres. Gyökeres came in the second half, 30 minutes. He had 30 minutes of play and scored 2 goals. He struggled against Chelsea in midweek. That's talking about in the Carabao Cup semi-final. But he came on as a sub and he did the needful. And this is what we expect from Arsenal. This kind of momentum. And one major talking point I have to bring is after the United loss, Mikel Arteta, his press conference after that loss, he said that every game is like more like a final, and they are going to give their all, and we are seeing their all in these matches that they are playing.
Well, hopefully they keep up with all of that into the coming days as well. Away from that right now, let's go to Newcastle United. I mean, at the point in time, I feel like this Newcastle team are one team that would most definitely be giving, the top boys a run for their money. They somehow did it last season with, our likes of Alexander Isak in the team. But then this time around, I feel like the St. James Park is also a little bit crumbling, and all the pressure is now on Eddie Howe.
Yes, Eddie Howe is under a lot of pressure, and I think that he has gotten to that point of saturation that, okay, yes, I've done well with this team. He won the Carabao Cup. Yeah. Looking at that match, that 3 games
he got to Europe.
He got to Europe twice. He got to Europe twice, which is a lot of kudos to him. The last 3 matches for Eddie Howe has been losses. He started with the Liverpool, lost to Man City midweek, and now Brentford in the 5-goal trailer. So there is a lot of work. We have known that they had a couple of injuries in the team, but this season they have struggled a lot, and we are seeing it with the table.
Well, we hope that, but then the words on the street is that possibly this might just be the final season for Eddie Howe right there with Newcastle.
Yeah, I expected that, because just like the City project, when they began this becoming a big club, it started with Mark Hughes. Yeah. When Mark Hughes was able to steady the ship, they brought in Roberto Mancini,
there was Pellegrini,
who won their first title. Pellegrini and Pep Guardiola was able to
steady it,
build a dynasty in the Premier League. And I think that we know that money has been pumping into this Newcastle with their new owners, but they are not at that level of comparing them with the big clubs. But one thing we have seen that this team on their day, they can actually challenge any of the big boys. But this season, it has been not the season that they were hoping for. With the old players going, Isak leaving, they brought in a couple of players. Watamade isn't really working with them. But I think that the next coach coming in has to take them to that next level that they want to be.
I mean, a lot of people are talking about coaches right now, but in your own books, do you think that there's any manager that would possibly get into this Newcastle side and make them title contenders?
As it stands,
fine, they have the money, but do you think there's any manager that will go there and make them title contenders?
You have to invest more in the squad. Yes, because you can't see before a Leicester City can happen in the Premier League. Maybe we are going to break maybe another 50 years.
Next 100 years.
Because Leicester City was just a one-off. And we have seen it that in recent times that won't happen. And before you can challenge the big boys, one thing in the Premier League is that compared to other leagues, the clubs, in terms of investments wise, we saw how many players that Sunderland brought into the squad this season. Because if you want to compete at the highest level, you have to make a lot of reinforcement. And Newcastle have done that over time. But when you keep on going with the same players, you need a lot of competitions by beginning more top players. And if you are beginning top players, you also need top coaches to put them through those processes.
All right. I mean, if top players, top coaches. Now, because you mentioned top players, top coaches, do you think that Michael Carrick is also a top coach that can maybe continue at the ends of affairs with Manchester? It's 1-4 on the Browns already.
He has done that.
Has it been convincing?
Yeah, wait, with the way we are playing. Yes, I've seen a lot of people who kind of give a lot of kudos, but my own is that we should not make a lot of decision in a hurry.
Okay.
We saw it with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer went for, I think, 40 games of beating.
On the bounce.
On the bounce. Yeah. He bet that particular one.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we know how he tended with it. But for Michael Carrick, one thing I will have to give a lot of kudos to Amorim. Even though it was the results wise, it was not the best. Yeah. But he was able to steady the ship. And
you think Ruben built this team?
Yes. And Michael Carrick is just building on that particular momentum as it stands. Like Brian said, he said that they have been doing majority of what we are seeing is what they have been doing at the start of the season.
Yeah.
But one thing that has changed is that Carrick has given these players the opportunity to showcase what they have. And they are enjoying themselves as it stands currently. They start with 4 games in a row. The last time United won 4 matches in a row was under Tenag 2024. That's 2 years, February 2024, 2 years. And it has been a long time that United, and the guy that is keeping his head for United to win 5 games in a row. I
feel like that's just like an industry plans thingy. I don't think it's a serious thing like that. I saw his social media. I think he now has over 1 million followers on social media already.
He took opportunity. See, in life, when life gives you an opportunity.
Yeah.
Utilize it well. And that guy, because another particular period, he started that challenge. United were in a mess, and that is the reality. And we saw that under Ruben Amorim, 14 months when he was in charge. It was just only once that United won 3 consecutive games. And
I'm not trying to hate really.
No.
I just feel like for what it was, keeping your ear
to me too. I said that the guy was chasing clout. And at the end of the day, when he started that challenge, a lot of people believe that this guy is just super. But when that trend continued, that United were struggling to even win games. That is when people began to, and maybe tomorrow after United plays because. It's been long. At this period,
you think they should invite him to Old Trafford to come and bar busy at Old Trafford?
I don't know that, but for him, me, as a United fan, I want us to win games. That's just it.
Okay, you just want United to win. You don't even care about
I don't care anybody doing any challenge. But my own is that we should keep on winning games like this.
All right, sports option right here on Ipa Radio 102.1 FM 0907-2245-180 is the gateway to the studio. Still got a couple more minutes to take in your calls before we wrap up the show. And we're streaming live on our Facebook fan page at impact radio 102.1 FM. Also live on our YouTube channel at impact 102.1 FM. I can join us on our TikTok at Sports Tales. Away from that right now, let's go straight into some of the matches that will be happening later this evening. In the Spanish La Liga, it's going to be Villarreal up against Espanyol. Atlanta is currently on the way against Cremonese in the Italian Serie A. 1-0 at 22 minutes played already in that particular encounter right there, and Raspadori are getting their assist for Kristovic in the 13th minute of that particular encounter. And if Atalanta does go ahead and make sure that they get this win at the end of the day, then most definitely they will also still be in the run-up for the top 4 finish in the league. But then it's not been a really good season for Atlanta, if you ask me.
It's not been a really good season. Look at Lookman has started another journey, but at some point we had with Jewish, they were in a bad run of form, and the new manager has kind of steadied the ship, and he has able to get a couple of results. And we have seen them kind of struggle this thing, but at the same time, they have struggled. Other teams have not been able to take that advantage, and now they are even in position to kind of get one of the European tickets. Hopefully, because
at least they will get into the Europa League.
That is because Atlanta in recent years has been a team that, when it comes to the European competition, they are irregular now. Maybe the Europa League, UEFA Champions League, or the Conference League, at least one of those competitions they will get.
Find them there.
I think that is what they are trying to build on this season.
All right. Well, away from that, there's going to be another game between Roma and Cagliari as well later this evening. Fenerbahce is currently on the way. Half-time played already. Fenerbahce against Jen Klubberg right there, and it's 2-0 right now. Tomorrow, other matches will be happening, especially in the English Premier. It's going to be Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium. Sorry, I beg your pardon, at the Stamford Bridge against Leeds United. Chelsea will see Leeds United. Everton will be up against FC Bournemouth, while Tottenham Hotspur will be at home when Newcastle United will be visiting them. Hopefully, they get that win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow.
Yes, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This season, they have struggled at home, and more. I think they have already had 2 or 3 wins at home this season, which is quite bad for them, and it has not been the best of fun for Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank has to look for a solution. I know that they have a lot of injury worries in the team, close to 11 or 10 players out of the team, but games like this, you expect them, and we have seen that the English fans are not so people who you would joke with. We saw which manager were they taking for this week. They're going to get sacked in the morning. I think it was the bowling game. It was sung for Thomas Frank after they do 2 in that particular game. These are the games that you expect that Tottenham should do the needful, build up upon that momentum. They are doing well in the Champions League, but I don't know why they are struggling when it comes to the league. And he has to look for a solution.
Well, West Ham United will be at home when Manchester United will also be visiting them at the London Stadium. A very big test for Manchester United right there. Because, of course, when you talk about low block, then you know that this is West Ham are a typical example of a low block team.
Yes, and this has been one of United's issue in time past, breaking down low block team. They were able to do it against Fulham, but at the same time, Fulham, it got to a point that United blew a 2-0 lead against a West Ham side. We saw early on this season season. It ended, I think, 1-1 or 2 between them. And United have to look for a way. And with this side, with Bruno playing as the number 10 now, we are seeing them express themselves. Goals from Cunha, Ubemo, and the likes of Ahmad has been explosive in that attack. Hopefully, these are the games that you expect that United shouldn't find difficult. But games like this, you don't know what to expect from that United side.
You don't know what to expect from that United side. Well, it's been said that the likes of Mason Mount and also Matthias De Ligt are also likely to still miss that game for Manchester United tomorrow, while Nuno Espirito Santo is also making bold claims for West Ham in that particular game. By this time tomorrow, we'll be looking forward to that game, and then on Wednesday, we'll be here to give you the lowdown of how the game would definitely would have gone down by that time. Elsewhere in the Coppa Italia tomorrow, Napoli will be up against Como, while in the German Derby Pokal is going to be Hertha Berlin up against Freiburg, right there in the German Derby Pokal. Sports Talk Show right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, and here's what we call it wrap on the package for this evening. Man, thanks to everyone who's been a part of the show. Warit, you want to drop us your final shot on the show this evening?
Yes, congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks, because I'm not a fan of the NFL, but we have to give them
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
I think there are like 4 or 5 Nigerians.
There's
Mafe, there's Uche Nwosu.
Uche Nwosu.
There's Mafe, there's Uche Nwosu. I think Seattle Seahawks are like 5 Nigerian players, I'm not mistaken.
And it was their second Super Bowl title. Their first was in 2013. And it is a good one for them because they have been the best. And defensively wise, I'm not a fan of NFL, but this kind of games, especially the Super Bowl, it's always the talk of the town.
Yes.
The
only thing that actually drew my attention to it yesterday night was when people were talking about the halftime show.
That is the only
should have been like maybe a Nigerian artist that would have performed more vibe at the halftime show. Okay.
Yes, I've seen a lot of people criticize because it was Bad Bunny who was the one to perform the halftime show. People were comparing it to the last year one, which Kendrick Lamar did that, saying there's this song that
the story of Bad Bunny, it's been said that he used to be he used to work in a store. Before he recorded that all Spaniard song, he used to work in a store. He used to sell stuff in a store. And then he kept recording. He said he was even working in the store while his friends called him that, look here, your song is blown outside the water. You're still inside our store, still selling groceries. And that was how he stopped. He's now won a Grammy for himself. Just keep doing what you're doing, really.
That consistency is key. And there was one player, I don't know his name, but I saw a story that when he was born, he had the doctor said he had heart issue. Yes, and at the end of the day, I think after 21 years, he's now a Super Bowl champion. Those are the kind of stories you want to hear. Like I mentioned, congratulations to Seattle Sound that Super Bowl LX, that's 60. They are the current champion of the NFL.
Amazing one right there. Just as we were talking about it the other time, that there's a couple of Nigerians who definitely rocked in our green, white, and green flag yesterday. They were the likes of Uchenna Nwosu, there's Olusegun. 6 players of Nigerian heritage most definitely represented right there. I was seeing the video of Uchenna Nwosu's mom, who was talking tough and said the fact that his son plays for Seattle Seahawks, they will definitely win the Super Bowl. That's like a big call from the mother right there, and it definitely did come to pass. There's Boye Mathis, also a linebacker. There's Nick Emanwori, it's also amongst the players. Then there's Olusegun Oluwatimi, who plays as a center. There's Jackson Smith and Jigba. Jackson Smith and Jigba is more like how should I call him, dual nationality, because he represents Sierra Leone, and also he has a bit of a tie with Nigeria right there, and also Jelly Mire, who is a quarterback as well. For the Patriots too, there's a bit of Nigerian presence. So I think it was the Patriots that won. We'll also talk about Nigerians. It's going to be a win-win for Nigeria. So I like the fact that you have to let us wrap up with that NFL show right there. Amazing one. This is how we call it wrap on the package for today, man. Thanks to everyone who's been a part of the Sports Up Show right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Big love to you, Warit, for always coming through on the show. We'll be back here together once again on Wednesday. God spare us from 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. and on Friday 5 to 6 p.m. Saturdays 2 to 3 p.m. I'll be doing 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of read, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the interviews. Ayo Deji Ajiboye signing out this evening. I'll tell you to stay sporty, stay active, drink enough water to stay hydrated, go out there, be the best version of yourself. Don't forget to be kind, because kindness is cool. Like I always tell you, if you go out there this evening and you meet someone on your way without a smile on their face, I dare you to do something here. Give them a bit of yours. I know everyone will say that, boys are not smiling, the street is not smiling, but you can be the rainbow in someone else's dark cloud. Good evening.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of Formula 1, and the pitch of football. Join the sports crew on Sport Hall 6 to 7 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, Fridays 5 to 6 p.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Here on iMpact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Reviews, views, and interviews just the way you like it. Exclusive on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Sport Hub.